You find yourself standing at the edge of a rice paddy in a quiet village in East Pakistan, what the world would later call Bangladesh. The year is 1971. A humid breeze stirs the tall stalks, but the air is heavy, not just with moisture, but with something else. With tension, with grief, with the smell of fire, gunpowder, and something unspoken. You were 16 years old, you carry no weapon, you wear a sari passed down from your mother, and in your arms your baby brother, barely a year old. You've heard rumors that the army is coming, that they're looking for traitors, but you've done nothing wrong. You are not political. You are not a threat. You are just a girl. But on this day, in this quiet corner of the world, your body is about to become a battlefield, and your voice will vanish from history, not because it wasn't screaming, but because the world chose not to hear. Before we unravel what truly happened in the shadows of the Bangladesh Liberation War, consider subscribing for stories that history tried to bury. And let me know in the comments what truths are hidden where you live. It began with silence. On March 25, 1971, the Pakistani military launched a campaign called Operation Searchlight, a brutal crackdown meant to suppress the Bengali independence movement. But what followed was not military suppression. It was the systematic destruction of a people and effort not just to break their spirit, but to shatter their bodies. Entire villages were razed. Universities turned into mass graves. Religious leaders, students, and activists were hunted. But buried beneath the statistics lies something even darker. The targeting of women, not as collateral, as strategy. They didn't just come with guns. They came with orders. In the eyes of many Pakistani commanders, Bengali women were not civilians. They were currency, tools of humiliation, a warning to any man who dared to dream of independence. Eyewitness accounts, later verified by international human rights investigators, suggest that between 200 to 400 women were subjected to sexual violence during the 9-month conflict. Let that sink in. That's not a statistic. That's nearly 500,000 broken bodies. 500,000 souls asked to carry the unbearable weight of someone else's war. But the horror didn't stop at the act itself. It was organized. Some army camps were converted into makeshift prison brothels where captured women were held for weeks or months, passed between soldiers. Teenage girls, widows, pregnant women, grandmothers. No one was exempt. Why didn't the world intervene? Because the war was wrapped in the fog of Cold War politics. The US supported Pakistan. China had its own interests. India was watching, waiting. And the victims, they had no microphones, no news crews, just dirt under their fingernails and blood on their lips. International media, when they did report the rap crisis, often described it in vague terms: widespread violations, instances of abuse. The words were chosen carefully, sanitized, palatable. But you can't sanitize the image of a 12-year-old girl hiding in a field praying her scream won't give her away. Or the mother forced to watch her daughter taken, only to be killed moments later for trying to resist. This wasn't madness, it was policy. Some survivors reported soldiers saying it outright: "We'll make sure no pure Bengali Muslim child is born again." From this darkness came another layer of tragedy. Tens of thousands of children were born in 1972, conceived through SA. They were called Birangonas in some circles, war heroines, a term that tried to give dignity to those who had been shattered. But society was not ready to embrace them. Families rejected them. Communities shunned them. Many women, ashamed and broken, committed suicide. Others were forced to abandon their newborns, who were sometimes smuggled to orphanages in Europe. Some aid workers even encouraged abortion as an act of mercy. These babies carried no guilt, but they bore the burden of history in their bones. To this day, many still don't know who they are or why they were born. Perhaps the cruelest cut of all came after the war. When Bangladesh finally gained its independence, the new government declared the rap victims heroes, but the streets told a different story. In the same homes where women once wept for freedom, now they wept in shame. Some husbands refused to take back wives. Some fathers disowned daughters. Some communities whispered behind closed doors, asking if these women were truly victims or if they had enjoyed it. Yes, that is what some said. As if survival was consent. As if trauma was desire. The women who had endured the unspeakable now had to battle the unbearable. There is no museum for these women. No annual moment of silence. No marble monument etched with their names. Only whispers and scars. Some survivors broke their silence decades later through books, interviews, or anonymous testimonies. But many took their pain to the grave, afraid of what their own children might think if the truth came out. History failed them once by letting the atrocity happen. It failed them again by letting it be forgotten. So let us return to that rice paddy, to that girl. You, the soldiers arrive. They drag your brother from your arms. You scream, you fight. You are only 16, but your body becomes a message written in bruises and torn fabric. Days later, you wake in a shelter. You don't know if he survived. You don't know if you're pregnant. You just know that something has been taken that will never be returned. And for decades, no one will ask for your story. No one will light a candle. No one will speak your name. But today, we do. You are not a footnote. You are not a casualty. You are history's ghost stand, its witness. If this story moved you, help give these women the voice they were denied. Like, share, and subscribe if you want more content that uncovers what others tried to erase. And comment below what other stories deserve to be told. Because silence is where evil thrives. And remembrance is resistance.